clever people, and welcome back to Connor's Weekend Ticket. Yes, I'm doing a new format. Instead of doing singular reviews, I'm going to see anywhere from 1 to 4 movies over the weekend, and I will review them all in one review. I'm sorry for the late review, guys. I've been sick. That didn't make sense. I don't know why I said that. So let's go to movie number 1. So The Zookeeper's Wife is a movie about Jessica Chastain, who owns a zoo in Poland during World War II, and all of the animals are dying, and Poland is being invaded, and the German troops are saying, "Oh, we need the zoo. We'll take over your animals, and they'll be safe. Don't worry about it." And what's been happening is Jessica Chastain's husband has been sneaking Jews in from hiding instead of going to the concentration camps. And this film was very good, but very depressing. My entire theater was crying during many scenes, and the movie was great though. I do have to say, Jessica Chastain is a fantastic actress, and she showed that again in this film. And also, Daniel Bruhl, I believe, the only film I've seen him in, I believe, is Captain America Civil War. I may have seen him in something else, I'm not sure, but he was a fantastic villain in this movie. He was very intimidating and very scary. Like I said, it's very emotionally gripping. I love when movies do that, when they make you sad, and it's not something just like Collateral Beauty, or like, hey look, kids are dying, that's why you should be sad. No, there's a reason for you to be sad. You get depth on these characters, and when they may be in danger, you are scared. The script is very well done. Everything technically is well done. The sound mixing, the special effects when bombs are being dropped, it's all fantastic. I do have an issue with it though. There is a point in the film where I felt like it wasn't going anywhere. The beginning up to the 1 year later thing was fantastic. Then the 1 year later thing up to when they finally start hiding Jews in their house, I felt like it was kind of aimless and it wasn't really going anywhere. And for that reason, I'll give The Zookeeper's Wife a 9 out of 10. On to the next movie. So Going in Style is a movie starring Alan Arkin, Morgan Freeman, and Michael Caine, and it's about these 3 old guys who rob a bank because their pension plans have been frozen. And this film was very mediocre. I was actually looking forward to it because I think they're all fantastic actors. They're all Academy Award-winning actors. I just saw Little Miss Sunshine the other day, and Alan Arkin was fantastic in that, and he was very funny in it. And I honestly don't know what happened. I honestly think that all of this has to do with the script. If this had a better script, it could have been a great movie, but the script is where it lacked the most. I'll start out with the good. All the actors in it are fantastic. Even if they're not so good of a movie, they can do well in it. They can have chemistry. They can have a character. Not really a character, but they can have a personality. And that is really the only great thing I can say about this movie. It was a fun movie. Like, all the scenes were fun. They're not funny. They're not funny, but they're fun. Now let's move on to the bad. The score was awful. Robert texted me his opinion on the movie, and he's like, okay, warning you about the score. It's ear bleeding. You're gonna hate it. And I'm like, alright, and I agree. It's like the scenes where it's comedic scenes, it's like bum 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 and stuff like that. It's like smooth, light, heartwarming stuff. And then all of a sudden when an action scene happens, it sounds like stock music. It sounds like iMovie music. Like, it honestly sounded like that. It was awful. And like I said, the script was not good. There'll be just these random transitions, like it'll end on like a really weird line. You're like, why did it end on that line? And it'll just cut to the next scene. And you're like, what? And as I said, it's not funny at all. There are a lot of jokes that fall flat, and my theater laughed, and I don't know what my theater was thinking, because the jokes are like the lowest common denominator crap. Like, not most of them, but some of them just, like, did you really have to do that? Like, it was fine before, and now you had to do that, really? There's a joke about this kid who can't play saxophone, and then he's like, okay, kid, you suck. They're like, yeah, I hate this too. I want to be like Beyonce. And they're like, yeah, I want to dance like Beyonce. And like the entire theater was like cracking up like it was the funniest thing ever. And I'm like, what was funny about that? There's another scene where there's this character that's supposed to be a coward, and in the heist scene, he points a gun at him, and then he starts peeing his pants. Which I don't understand what the joke is there, because if someone pointed a gun at you, you'd be pretty scared. That's justified. But those jokes just ruined it for me. I wouldn't say it's quite as bad as other things I've seen. Like I said, if Morgan Freeman, Michael Caine, and Alan Arkin weren't in this movie, it'd be like a 3 out of 10. But because of that, I'll give it a 5 out of 10. Now let's move on to our last movie. So Smurfs the Lost Village is about the Smurfs. If you don't know what the Smurfs are, you've been living under a rock. So Smurfette sees this other thing, like this other Smurf in the woods. She's like, and Gargamel like attacks her, and he finds out, oh, there's another village. I'm gonna finally find them. I know where they are. So Smurfette and a couple other Smurfs try to stop him, and they find this whole new thing of Smurfs. And if you think I'm spoiling something, you haven't watched the trailer. Smurfs the Lost Village looked incredibly bad, and I felt ashamed seeing it. And I am very proud to say that it's not that bad. Like I said, some of the humor was actually funny. There was a joke where they were trying to find out what Smurfette was, because everyone's like Brainy Smurf, Clumsy Smurf, and stuff like that, and it always says it in their names, but no one knows what Smurfette is, and they were trying to find out, and there's this cook. They're all asking people, what do you think of Smurfette? And then the cook is just like, it's voiced by Gordon Ramsay. I'll tell you something about Smurfette. She's a rubbish cook. And I don't know, I found that funny. Maybe me describing it was not funny. Probably. But whatever, I found it funny. And there are some other jokes that were like that. I'm not defending the entire comedic part because there were a lot of unfunny jokes in it. But there were some that actually hit, and it's hard to make me laugh, so it's surprising. The animation was absolutely beautiful. I I'm showing the trailer right now, or clips of just wildlife and stuff. It's absolutely gorgeous. I don't like. It's so weird because I say that in all reviews. Like, animation is so gorgeous now. Like, from every production company, unless you're talking about something like Norm of the North. But even Rock Dog had admirable animation. Like, that is incredible. And it's a lot of fun, like going in style, but at least this has something going for it. Let's talk about the bad. There were some plot holes and just things that didn't make sense. Like, whenever the movie wanted to get out of something, Smurfette was like, oh yeah, guys, it's my fault. I should take responsibility for this, even though it's totally not her fault. And that would never happen, and they just did that for an excuse to get out of actually showing something. And some stupid things like uh, Gargamel creating these little ice balls, and when he throws it at something, it freezes. At the beginning, he's testing it out on a mouse, and it freezes the mouse, and he accidentally hits it himself, and then he freezes. And later on in the film, he's freezing a Smurf that he caught, and it works. And he tries to freeze Smurfette, and it doesn't work. And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. It only freezes real Smurfs." And it's like, are you a Smurf, Gargamel? Is that what the plot twist is? Gargamel the entire time is just a Smurf, and so is that little mouse. Theory idea. No, okay, seriously. But the worst thing about this film was the soundtrack. Oh my god. It didn't fit at all. And, like, there were scenes where Smurfette was sneaking out, and they were playing the song Heroes, when it should have been something, like, intense. But they're playing Heroes, and not the David Bowie, not the good Heroes, no, the Alicia Cara Heroes. But, or like, what is that? Why this song? This doesn't fit. But the worst one is that it shows in the trailer when they're getting snatched up by the flowers and stuff. And like the trailer understood that should probably be accompanied by intense music, because it is in the trailer. But the second they're attacked, it starts playing Delirious, and it was I laughed out loud because it did not fit at all. It was so bad. It was atrociously put together. I can't believe that happened. Overall, Smurfs: The Lost Village was eh, and that's why I'll give it a 5.2 out of 10. So I'm going to rank these 3 films. Of course, it doesn't mean much this week, considering it's pretty easy. 1, Zookeeper's Wife, 2, Smurfs: The Lost Village, and 3, Going in Style. So guys, I'm sorry this is late. As I said, I'm very sick. I did not realize this was going to be uploaded this late. I'm hoping this is going to be uploaded Thursday, April 13th. And I'd like everyone to know that this is for the weekend of April 7th to 9th. So that concludes my review. Have you seen these 3 films? What do you think of them? I am going to be seeing Gifted and Fate of the Furious for sure. I may be seeing The Ticket or Colossal. So that concludes my review. I'm Connor Gilbert, and this has been The Clever Critics. Goodbye.